right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to JDTV. I'm your host today, Josh Deming, and we are here for the watch-along between the Mexican national team, who is technically the home team, and the Canadian men's national team. And we got the lineups up, and we're pretty much ready to go. Game I thought was supposed to start at 8:30. I think that there was a 30-minute delay or something along those lines. So I ended up pushing the stream a little bit here. So yeah, let's get right into it. Say hello in the chat if you guys are tuning in today, and let me know your thoughts on the starting 11. So there was some news that happened around two of the players on the Canadian men's national team. The first is that Joel Waterman left the camp because he had an injury. And the bigger news is that Jacob Schaffelberg left the camp because I believe his wife is expecting to give birth to their child in, I'm assuming, the very near future. So he left camp for that. So a big congratulations to Jacob Schaffelberg. Very cool moment for him and his family. For those of you guys who are not sure why Schaffelberg is not there. So guys, drop a big congratulations in the chat for Jacob Schaffelberg. His wife is expecting to give birth, and a very cool moment for him. But this is the starting 11. Canada is going, I'm assuming it's going to be a 4-2-3-1. Dane St. Clair is the keeper. There's no surprise there. With the two friendlies, you assume that Kripo was going to get one and Dane was going to get the other. Richie Larea comes in for Alistair Johnson at right back. Jesse Marsh goes with his two starting center backs, which I love to see. Bombito Cornelius. I expected Bombito to start because he's got a red card with Nice, so you don't really got to rest him. Now that's Jesse's responsibility, but I kind of thought that Cornelius would have been rested for one of Waterman or Kamal Miller. Obviously, with the injury to Joel Waterman, it would have been Kamal Miller, but I'm glad to see Cornelius is in there. Davies rounds out the back four. The midfield, the two defensive midfielders, I assume are going to be Stephanie Eustachio and Mathieu Chouanier. Right attacking mid will be Ali Ahmed. Center attacking mid will be Jonathan Osorio. Left attacking mid will be Liam Miller. And the lone striker will be Kyle Larin. So just ignore that lineup a little bit for foot mob. They do what they can. But that is what I am assuming. So one striker system, and it's Kyle Larin. So he's the player I'd like to see them honestly score tonight. He's the I feel like once he scores and breaks his duck he's on, I like, because he's playing well. It's just when it comes to putting the ball in the back of the net, he's falling short, and that's very important when you're going to be a striker. So I really hope this is his opportunity. Jonathan Osorio, I think, could be in for a good match as well. I think tactically it makes more sense for him to play this match against Mexico. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on him. And then Liam Miller, I thought he looked really good coming off the bench against the United States. He's, taking some heat from time to time from Canadian fans. But I do think that he can be a player on this team, and this is a perfect opportunity to see what he can do. So if you guys are just tuning in today, drop a like on the sub, say hello. Let me know your guys' thoughts on the starting 11, and I'm going to start ripping through some questions here before kickoff. We are about 10 or so minutes away, so I'll try to get to rapid fire as many questions as I can here for you guys. So let's get going. Just hoping we get to see Seeger play this time. I don't know. Obviously, Seeger had the injury before. I believe his final match before this window, he played like 15 minutes. So it wouldn't be surprising if we saw him maybe get about 15 minutes in this game. Definitely keeping an eye out for him. I'd love to see it as well. And that probably the player off the bench I'd be the most excited to see for Canada today. Big congratulations to Jacob Schaffelberg. Like I mentioned, his wife is soon to be giving birth, so we're giving Schaff some love here. Part of the reason, I don't think he would have started anyways, honestly. I think Schaffelberg probably would have been on the bench, but more than likely would have came off the bench. I was expecting Liam Miller to start, but obviously with him not there, that's the obvious case. I hope Seeger, so a lot of you guys want to see Seeger get a look today, and I do too. There's, that's pretty obvious. Let me know your guys' score predictions as well. I do want to toss that in there. I don't know how you guys are feeling. I think I said 2-0 2-0 Canada this morning. I was feeling confident. It's still a pretty strong lineup. It's basically Dane in for Max, which I think is fine. Richie comes in for Johnston. Osorio comes in for David. Miller comes in for Schaffelberg. So not that much. Miller likely to play left, right, or up top. So he'll play on the left. He'll play on the left hand side. I'm assuming this will be a 4-2-3-1. I just don't have the I'm just using the foot mode because it's there. Now a game was scheduled to start at 9, Josh. I don't know why. I was seeing 8:30. I mean, a few different outlets were showing 8:30. I mean, probably should have checked One Soccer because they said 9, so probably should have been smarter there. One Soccer has Ahmed on the left and Miller on the right. I doubt it. I could be wrong unless someone's talked to someone else, but I mean, Ali played on the right in the last game, and Liam plays exclusively on the left. I'd be surprised, but I mean, they're wingers that you can easily see them swap throughout the match. I would expect, but who knows? Like we'll have to wait and see. But I would expect Ali starts down the right and Miller starts on the left. And One Soccer, as I know because I work there, you will see graphics sometimes where like a winger will be swapped. It's not actually how you play, but I don't know. Maybe they know something I don't. That is the official lineup for Mexico. Malagon is between the sticks. Arujo down the right. Vasquez and Guzman. Pineda is one to keep an eye on. Santi Jimenez is a big one as well. Romo is, pretty strong looking Mexican starting 11. Gino Huerta is a player that I really like to watch down the left hand side, so I'm curious to keep out that matchup with him and Ahmed, or I guess who's ever down that right hand side along with Richie Larrea. But I don't know. Any Mexican supporters in the chat? Let me know how would you rate this Mexican starting 11 in terms of it being your best available. I'm familiar with the Mexican group. I mean, Montez, I would have assumed is probably your other starting center back, so he's not in. The front three looks pretty good. I don't know. I'd probably say like an 8 or 10. Maybe I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. Do you think Seager gets minutes tonight? I do. Unless it was decided beforehand, but I would assume if they're going to bring him to the camp, we should probably expect him to get some minutes. He played about 15 in his final match for his club team, so that's what I'm kind of expecting. The key words in what you said coming off the bench: I don't like Miller starting. Hope he proves me wrong. I think it's a big opportunity for him. I really do. I thought he looked really good coming off the bench. He brought a lot of energy, and if he can, do that from the beginning, and I personally thought he had a good game against Argentina in Copa America. A lot of you guys don't agree with me, but I thought he brought a lot of energy, and I want to watch to see how that link up works with Liam Miller and Alphonso Davies, if indeed Miller is down the left-hand side, which I think he will be. Would also like to see Afrifa come in to get some minutes. I would too. Marsh said he was going to play in both matches, so we saw him in one. So I'm assuming we'll probably see him in this one at some point. Let me know you guys' score predictions. Get them in. Mexican soccer is never going to come back if they don't give the new blood a chance. Yeah. I mean, Malaga's a solid keeper, but yeah, I 100% get your point. Score predictions for today. We got 2-0 Canada, 1-0 Canada. It's Taco Tuesday, baby. 1-0 Canada. Viewing from Ottawa. Good to see you doing a watch along, Josh. You still in Paris, Cambridge area? I am in that area. Probably about 35 minutes from Paris. Why is David not starting? I'm assuming just rest or to get a look. Maybe Jesse Marsh really wants Kyle Aaron to score. I'm hoping that's the case. Because if anybody needs a goal tonight, it's Kyle Aaron. If anyone needs not necessarily a good game, but like a statement game, I'd probably give that to Liam Miller. I think he's got a lot to prove tonight. Good to see Schwanier in the pitch again. Yeah, he had an excellent match. An excellent match. I'm excited to see what he can do alongside Eustachio. It just raises some questions for Jesse Marsh. When you picture the midfield, you picture Eustachio, you picture Kone. All of a sudden, Schwanier is in here putting in performances like that. Just got the move to Europe. Definitely a player to keep an eye on. Footmob had Cornelius at right wing and Ahmed at right center back last game. They did. This one's closer. It's the same back four. Eustachio, Schwanier, the two defensive midfielders. Ahmed on the right, Miller on the left, Osorio as the 10, and Laren up front. 3-1 Canada. How was your conversation with Jack? It was great. Really enjoyed chatting with him. We had a video out on his channel, just talking about Kings of CONCACAF. Let me know what you guys think. Who do you believe, or how would you define Kings of CONCACAF, and who do you think is the Kings of CONCACAF? Because if you wanted to go check out that video on Deadball TV with Jack, we had a nice conversation around it. I basically just said, you need to give me a definition. If we're going like Kings of CONCACAF means all time, Canada's not in the discussion. It would be Mexico. And if you're going in, current Kings of CONCACAF in certain moments, I think Canada definitely has a shout, especially coming off of a strong Copa America and, defeating the US. But, it's fun. We also need silverware. We haven't got that yet. So it's kind of hard to call yourself a king without at least one trophy to our names in recent time. Dane St. Clair's a big question mark for me. In 2 friendly matches, it's always expected that the keepers are more than likely going to switch. I think Dane, it's a good opportunity for Dane as well. I didn't like the fact that it kind of sounds harsh, but I wish we would have kept Crepeau in for the 3rd place match against Uruguay, because he was, in my opinion, the keeper of the tournament. And I don't know. I think maybe that game could have went a little different. I think our attack will struggle a bit with Laren instead of David or Canny. I'm curious, though. For a long time, we saw David and Laren not really being able to get on together. And usually when there's a player dropped, it's Laren, not David. So I'm very curious to see how this game goes, playing in this system with one striker, and that one striker being Kyle Laren. I don't know why. I have a sneaky suspicion that maybe he puts in a pretty good performance today and scores a goal or 2. I don't know why. I get what you're saying. I just think maybe Marsh wants to see something different from Laren. So maybe that's it, and to give David a little bit more rest, because David's a player who will be playing every minute with Lille, where Kyle Laren's a player who's not getting a lot of looks with Mallorca. To be fair, Miller was phenomenal off the bench. He was very good. Mig is not having it. He says, why are we placing our faith in Miller and Laren? He hasn't had a scoring touch in almost a year. No Schaffelberg. I don't expect Canada to concede, but I have high hopes from them scoring. What I'm really looking forward to in this game is to see if they can bring that same intensity, that same press that they did against the United States. Because Mexico had a ton of time on the ball against New Zealand. That game could have been honestly like 6-7-0. They're not going to have that. If Canada can play anywhere close the way that they played against the United States, I think they're going to make this very difficult on Mexico. So I'm really excited for this match, to be honest, just to see if Canada goes into a window with the United States and Mexico, and if they can win both. I think that's, friendlies or not, I think that's a statement. But kickoff is about to happen, ladies and gentlemen. If you're joining us in the stream, drop a like, say hello. Let me know where you're tuning in from today. And let's sit back and enjoy this match together. Especially if you're a Canadian fan, because we're on a bit of a roll. It feels pretty good. Coming off a strong Copa America, followed up with another great performance against the United States. I'm excited. I don't know. I would like to top it off with another victory here today. We got a 0-0 and a 1-1 prediction. We got another 1-1 prediction. Thoughts on Eustachio possibly moving on from Porto to get some minutes? Seems like he's been limited this season. I think I'm torn on Eustachio. I feel like he can break into the Porto starting 11. I think I'll have to wait and answer that question in January. If he really, really struggles and is just basically an afterthought, then I think it'd be a good opportunity for him to maybe get a loan move. But I think that there's a chance he can push 4 minutes. I think he really likes being in Portugal. I think he really likes being with Porto. And I think he's got a role to play this season. But that can change, honestly. If he's just a complete afterthought and doesn't get any looks, then I don't want to see one of our best players sitting there, because the last little bit with Porto has been a bit of a struggle. I agree. Azorio's getting a goal tonight. Gold Cup winner is the king. I don't know. It's hard to define, because Mexico sent their A squad, United States sent their C squad. We do need some silverware, though. I won't call ourselves. Well, I don't know. I think we're close, but I think we need to win. I would be comfortable calling Canada the current kings, but we need to win one of the tournaments in 2025. I'd really like to see Russell Rowe come on in the 60th minute. I'd like to see Russell Rowe come on as well. Maybe for an Azorio, and you switch back to a 4-4-2 system and play him up top with with Laren. Like I wouldn't mind that at all. I think Miller's going to score tonight. Let's put it down. I'll give you guys my prediction, but I'm going to go very bold. I'm going to say 2-0 Canada. Kyle Laren scores, Liam Miller scores. That is a bold pick, but I'm going to go with it. And we are off and running. I'm going to move like that and then just have the score line there. But let me go your guys' prediction, or a bold prediction for tonight. But I feel like that's pretty bold. 2-0 Canada with a Laren and a Liam Miller goal. Not Kings, but maybe Airs. Ooh, I like that. I don't know why this is. All right, there we go. Beautiful. All right, let's do this. Let's go Canada. 4-2 game for the Reds. I like it. The game started and I wasn't even watching. Okay, we're up and running. All right, let's do this. From your fingertips to Liam's boots. Let me know how you guys are feeling. And let me know where you're tuning in from today. I am, like our friend in the chat said, somewhere near Paris, Cambridge, Brantford, Ontario. I think we're the best team in CONCACAF, but we won't be Kings until we win a trophy. I think that's totally fair. It was a good conversation, and I think everyone's got a different opinion on what Kings of CONCACAF really means. I don't know. I don't think of all time, no way. Like we're not the Kings of CONCACAF, but current, there's an argument, but we still need a trophy, man. Yeah, I agree with Boss Beast. Need a trophy, Nations League or Gold Cup, whatever. I got a 2-1 prediction coming in for Canada. Got an early corner kick already. Chouanier over it. Remember, I said Liam Miller, Kyle Laren scoring tonight, 2-0 win Canada. I haven't been following Porto as much, but it sounded like Eustachio was still doing well. Just the manager selection preference. I think Eustachio is underrated and could do solid work in the Prem. I don't know if he was to leave Porto. I don't know where I can picture Eustachio going. I always said Braga could be a sneaky little loan move. Solid. Oh, here comes Laren. Off to a decent start. Could be a nice little move. Like it's a solid team in Portugal still where he wants to be. It's not one of the big three. He'd probably get a ton of minutes. Nice ball from Miller. But I don't know. Also La Liga. I mean, with Spain being right there, maybe that makes sense. One of the mid-ish table teams. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about Eustachio. It's a good question. Do you guys want to see Eustachio maybe move if he can't get decent playing time in the first half of the season? And if so, where would you want him to go? Ahmed gets off the mark for Canada in my prediction. I like that. Ali Ahmed was phenomenal. Right now, if you're looking at a couple players whose stock is pretty much going through the roof from this camp, it would be Ahmed and Chouanier. Those are the two players that come to mind. I mean, Bombito had an excellent match, so did David, but I mean, they're players we already rate. Davies scores in the last 30 after Atakubi comes on for Miller. Games on One Soccer and Fubo if you're in Canada. Canada's missing Schaffelberg, Johnston, Kone, and Buchanan, but still solid. Yeah, which is crazy. It's nice because there's players that are stepping up. When you just name the players that we're missing right now, without Johnston, it's nice you have depth there. You have a Richie Larea. Without Kone, you have a Chouanier who's coming in big with a nice performance, gets another start. I think Ali Ahmed could push Buchanan for a starting spot. And I think I was talking with some of you guys in the last watch along, and a lot of you guys agree with me. which is crazy to think that we have a player at Inter Milan. I know he's injured right now, and obviously when he's back, the way that Ali's playing, I don't know, man. Buchanan's had a tough go recently with the men's national team. He is not getting a lot of minutes with Inter. There's an opening there down the right-hand side, and the way that Ali Ahmed's been playing for the Whitecaps and playing with Canada, I can see it. But let me know if you guys agree with that. No China says I got to piss. Moss Sports says, nice, JD Watchalong. Welcome. Say hello in the chat if you guys are just tuning in. We're 5 minutes into this game, and we are chatting Kings of CONCACAF. But I'll say it. Without a definition, just let me know who's the Kings of CONCACAF right now. You can give context. That's nice. Osorio goes for it. Canada's off to a decent start right now. Yeah, nicely done from Cornelius, getting a foul there. Great to have Davies, but I don't feel like we're as desperate to have him in the lineup to be confident and competitive. Yeah, I mean, we learned a little bit about that during World Cup qualifying. I know it was a while ago, but during World Cup qualifying, I mean, we didn't have a ton of players break out the way that they have recently. So when we had Alphonso Davies not in the lineup, like, we were terrified, and we thought that with some of the injuries he picked up during that run, would that impact us qualifying for the World Cup? And honestly, a lot of Canadians can probably agree, sometimes without Davies, we played better. And the beautiful thing about what Jesse Marsch has done is he's playing at left back. And I think some of the biggest issues that Davies has run into is that he is the most talented and the best player on this team, hands down. You can't deny it. Alphonso Davies is Canada's best player. But because he's Canada's best player, and he was at a time so far, like, he was the player that you need to get the ball to, he played in the middle of the park. He would go in and play as a 10. He would play as a striker. He mainly played as a winger, but he drifted wherever he wanted to because this was his team. And we played basically to kind of get the ball to him. And when he had the ball, he did a little too much. So when he was missing during World Cup qualifying, there was a big debate with Canadian fans. Is this team playing better without Davies there? And the interesting thing that Jesse Marsch did is just basically, no, we're better with Davies, but let's put him as his natural position. Let's put him in the back four. And every game that Davies has played in this back four, he's played really well. And he's been not as you don't notice him as much, obviously, playing further back than when he's playing as a winger. But it's almost a good thing because he's just quietly doing his role. And then when he has an opportunity to bomb up the pitch, he will do it because he's an attack-minded player. And I just think he really settles his back four. Sorry for my long rant on Alphonso Davies, but I just really like that he's playing at left back in his back four. And I think it makes this team on paper look great, and their performance is great. You got a player playing for Celtic, Marseille, Nice, and Bayern. That is Canada's back four all of a sudden. But let me know. Do you guys agree? Do you like Davies at left back, or did you want to see Atakubi maybe play at left back and push Davies higher up the pitch? Let me know. I'm sold that Davies needs to play at left back, period, for Canada. Bro, Canada is the king of CONCACAF. CONCACAF probably hasn't been this wide open for years since the inception. Yeah, don't sleep on Panama either. They've had a good little run as well. Davies at Bayern is not as good as 3-4 years ago. Yeah, he had a couple big breakout seasons. Kind of went quiet. Injuries haven't helped. Going into being a free agent, I think there's a lot of opportunities for Davies. I mean, usually you just saw Real Madrid being the one main team for Davies. But recently, I mean, I've seen Arsenal, Chelsea, City. I don't know how legit the rumors are, but you're starting to see more teams kind of getting involved. I absolutely agree Davies should stay at left back, just whether he should be involved more in the attacking threat. I think Davies will, that's what I liked, at least with the last few performances, is he's not going to throw himself in a stupid position. He's being very responsible. He's just simply playing his game, and if there's an opportunity to go forward, he will take it. Of course he will. But he's not not putting the back line at risk by making poor decisions, bombing up the pitch. There's Oso. David Davies on freeze could be awesome. Yeah, the rumors I'm seeing with David is, and I mean, top Italian teams love free agents. So Inter Milan and Juventus are the two teams I'm seeing the most right now being linked to Jonathan David. I'd like him at Juve. I think that he could be a good dual striker with Vlahovic. I think that could really work. I'm not sure about Inter. I think he could play well there. I just don't know what the minutes will look like. They have a ton of strikers already. I don't really want David to go somewhere where he's like first man off the bench. Borjan is the king of CONCACAF. So who knows that Milan Borjan is still playing football? Because he's hanging out in Saudi, getting a big paycheck out there. So it's good to see Borjan. A lot of good memories with him. USA tied New Zealand. What was the final score of the US game? That's a tough window. Takes an L against Canada, but it's not even that. It's just that they played awful against us. We picked up the win, and then they just drew against New Zealand, a team that Mexico just spanked. Was it 0-0, 1-1? What was the final score of the US game? Crepeau was the number one, but encouraged to see Dane St. Clair get some more experience. Yeah, I feel very comfortable with Crepeau as our keeper going into 2026. I mean, I thought he was a keeper of the tournament in Copa America. The reason Martinez won is because Argentina won, and he was good too. But Crepeau was incredible. We would not have got as deep in the tournament if he wasn't playing the way that he was. I'm a big fan of Dane too. I just don't think I don't know, man. I just don't think he's gonna get ahead of Crepeau anytime soon. Nicely done from Richie. Borjan rock in sweatpants in Saudi. I love that he's still playing. He had a tough breakup with Red Star. Went over to Slovan Bratislava, I believe. And I'm trying to remember who. I think he was a free agent. Then he went to Saudi, which is just an interesting career path for Borjan. '89th minute goal for New Zealand. Anyone watch Filippo? How was he feeling after that? But Pochettino is going to any US fans in the chat. Let me know how you're feeling, because this was a disastrous window for you guys, but you got Pochettino finally. You got your man. So I mean, speaking to someone who, I mean, I think the Canadian 2023 was a disaster, and I felt horrible going into Copa America. I did not think that we were going to have a fourth place finish, and all of a sudden Jesse Marsch comes in and it just lifts the spirits. So if you're an American in the chat, let me know how you guys are feeling. Do you like the Poch signing? Do you think that, he can at least get you guys playing better than what you have? What happened to Milan Borjan? I missed that guy. He's playing in Saudi. He is playing in Saudi. Starter over there, obviously, as well. Probably a lower to relegation type team. Would Prime D-Row make the current squad? I think so. Prime D-Row was a hell of a player. Well, I'm gonna say yes, straight up. Yes, he would. He was unreal. Oh, Bombito! Oh, what a point! Bombito gets himself in a little bit of trouble there, but does well. I was talking about Bombito in the last game because he had such an incredible match, but after his recovery speed, which is sensational, he is so clever with the way that he puts his body in a good position to win a foul, or just see the ball out. He did that a few times in the last match, and he got himself in trouble right there, so that's on him. But he did really well to at least win the foul and not be in trouble there. I'm a US fan, but 2 players for New Zealand play or played for my Timbers. Why does Borjan not play for Canada anymore? Just not good enough anymore. Past his prime. Borjan was a great servant to the men's national team, though. A lot of really good memories with him. I'm glad he's still playing. I hope he's getting. I hope he's getting the bag out there in Saudi. I really do. He was a character, and he was a big leader on this team as well. Is Davies the best Canadian player in history? I would say so. You guys can let me know in the chat if you think there's another player who's best Canadian all time. I think it goes to Davies. I think he's already accomplished so much. It's crazy to see that he's only early 20s still and can have a long career ahead of him. Will Copa America always be in the US, Canada, and Mexico? No. Or will always be with? No, I don't. I would say no. Copa America has had a lot of different formats in the recent years. Like there's only 10 South American teams, so sometimes they'll just straight up do 2 groups of 5, and then the one group that has 4 would move on. The other group that's got 4 move on. Then they do a quarterfinals with the 1v4, and they you swap it. They do it usually with 2 guest teams to make a 12-team tournament. But I think the best Copa America is the one when you include CONCACAF nations. The 10 South American teams bring in 6 teams from CONCACAF, make it a 16-team tournament. I think that's the way that it should be going forward. I think it's great for our region. Gives us like a massive tournament with huge nations, great experience. And I just think the tournament looks so much cleaner that way. I don't really like the 2 guest teams. Like I think Mexico's been in it before as a guest team, like Japan. I can't remember, but I'm assuming Qatar might have had an opportunity there. Maybe not. Would love to see another black third kit for Canada. I agree with that 100%. The black kit is clean. Mexico's already a little bit more up for this fight, though, than... Ooh! The big challenge there, for sure. Getting a little heated in this friendly already. That was a tough challenge on Davies. Fight. Davies and David still young with our whole team. Oh, yeah, man. We got some good years to come. Now, I don't think he actually got Davies, did he? He might have. It's a pretty rash challenge, though. But this game is just already so different than the United States game. The United States just did not show up. It's like they didn't want to be there. They didn't give a crap about the game. Canada definitely cared about it. They showed up. They had intensity. They just made it so ugly for the United States. Mexico's up for it, man. 18 minutes in, it's getting a little chippy, a little feisty. Canada, I don't think is quite as playing quite as intense as they did in the U.S. game, which is a tough level to maintain throughout. But I still say Canada's probably been the better team so far in the opening 18 or so minutes. But I like it. Makes for more entertaining watch. Crépeau and St. Clair are better now. And we got young ones coming up too. We do. Jonathan Sirwa is a good keeper to have. Owen Goodman's a good dual national we have in League 2 in England. We have McGill as well. I think McGill's got to have a big season and get a move if he's going to push. I'd rather have just Crépeau, Dane St. Clair, and Sirwa right now as the main 3. But you can notice it. I mean, the thing about the United States game was every time they touched the ball, we were all over them. And we don't have Jonathan David in this team right now. And I personally don't really think Osorio overly fits the way that this team plays. I'm curious to see if that has anything to do with it. But the way that we were pressing that first match was crazy. You had Laren going off of David. You had Schaffelberg and Ahmed on the wings. Chouanier, Eustachio. they just had no time, no space. They were creating so many turnovers in dangerous areas. And it's easy to do that when one team is just so far up for it and the other one is just taking a nap. Jonathan David put in a phenomenal performance, but United States are like they just had no time. Where Mexico right now, they have a bit of time on the ball, and I'm curious to see how that changes. Because without David leading from the front, I don't know. I don't think Laren can quite do that. That boy Davies. Yeah, we're missing David's pressing intensity. Not as confident in our play so far. No, we don't look. I mean, we don't look the way that we did against the United States. But I mean, we just came out for it. Just sometimes that's another challenge there. That's got to be a yellow. That's 2 now. Oh yeah, like that's probably a yellow card on Chouanier, no? Especially because that's the second time Araujo's done that. I don't know. That was reckless. Should have been a yellow. I feel like Araujo should have a yellow by now. Schafferberg was good too. I already dislike this ref not taking control. Yeah, I mean that's 2 challenges. I'm surprised that's not a yellow, given it for at least one. Probably there's another one. Like Mexico's, it's a pretty aggressive game so far, man. Kyle Laren's asking for a card. I swear after Copa, the boys are learning a trick or two. It's Chippy, though. Good experience, man. Good experience. Canada needs to know how to play when push comes to shove, and the dirtiness, the tricks. They need to know how to play through it. They're getting frustrated so far. 3 challenges that you could argue maybe a card should be at least given out for one of them. See how they can cope with it. They're going to be like this all night, aren't they? You're not winning the ball and going with studs when you're on the knee. Jesse Marsh is doing better than I thought he would do. Yeah, the nice thing about Jesse Marsh is that I think he perfectly fits this player pool. And obviously it's so important when it comes to a national team to have a coach that fits your player pool, because you can't just go out and sign players. And I think Pochettino is a fantastic manager. I'm excited to kind of see how he settles in with the U.S. team, because we've seen plenty of good club managers move over to the national team and not quite be able to do it because they have to work with the players that they have. It works out really nicely when the profiles of the players that you have match what you want to do. And the game against the United States, if any of you guys in the chat didn't see it, go watch it, because that looks exactly like how Jesse Marsh wants his team to play. And he has players that fit exactly what he wants to do. When you like to press and you have one of the best pressing strikers in world football in Jonathan David, it's the reason he can shine that way off the ball, let alone what he can do when he's on it. Oh, did he get a yellow card in the 18th minute? I didn't even see that. I'm not listening to the game, so maybe that's on me. Brazil's losing as well, which is interesting. Did he get a yellow? We did. Yeah, he did. Can anyone confirm in the chat? Did Julian Araujo get a yellow? I think he did. I didn't see it on the screen. I'm not listening to it, so maybe I missed that. But all right, well, good. He deserved one. Typically, CONCACAF high intensity. Ted Lasso did get that 100% right. Yes, Davies fouled. Oh, nice run. Well, that's a put it in. He got a yellow in the 18th minute. Nice. That was a good run from Ahmed there. Canadian fans need to quit crying. This is CONCACAF. It's tough out there. This ain't Europe. Hey, I said it. I said it's gonna be a good experience, man. You need to know how to play this style. And it's not just CONCACAF. You saw it at Copa America as well. United States didn't bring any of that because they just straight up didn't want to play that last game, it seemed like. I think Mexico's been up for it so far. They've been chippy. They've made it interesting. They've frustrated some of the Canadian players. We have Miller. Oh, Eustachio. Outside of the foot. Brazil's losing to Paraguay, eh? That's wild. This ref is crazy. Kilo is done with the ref. Oh, it's another foul, man. There's another yellow. Look at Ahmed getting in his face. Oh. This game is entertaining. It's a lot more choppy than the United States game was, man. Holy. Gino Huerta with a yellow there. Just gives a big old kick to Richie. Yeah, that was a deserving so. Mexico with 2 yellow cards already. 25 minutes in. It's CONCACAF, baby. That's what that is. Brazil is so bad. They should do better with such a squad. Oh, yeah. Well, Paraguay's had an awful qualifying spell as well. Like they were sitting in like 8th or something. Like Brazil's closer towards not making it into the World Cup than making it, I believe, in the standings, at least. So I think they were at 5th. Getting their butts kicked. Shocking yellow. Love Ahmed. Yeah. I'm telling you guys, I don't think it's crazy. Let me know in the chat. Do you think that Ahmed can push Buchanan for the starting spot even when he's back healthy? Because from what I've seen from Buchanan over the past year or so with the national team, I'm not convinced he can come in, at least down the right. Like I think Ahmed's been that good. I'm curious, maybe Buchanan gets pushed up left. That could be an option as well. You have Schaffelberg, Miller competing for that spot. I don't know. But I don't think Buchanan's walking back into this squad. I don't think his club situation is going to get even easier when it comes to game time, but this was supposed to be a big year for him. He came in January, kind of had a bit of a transition, got used to the league, used to the training, playing at a much higher level. Got some minutes towards the end of the year off the bench, and then obviously that injury this year just sucks for him because it would have been great to have nice run. Is that Ahmed again? That's a foul for sure. Kyle Aaron's having a tough time right now. I think that was Ahmed, man. That was nasty. Chouanier. I would say Ahmed's probably been Canada's best player so far. Let me know if you guys agree. What club does Buchanan play for? He plays for Inter Milan. He was at Club Brugge, and he got a January move to Inter Milan, but barely featured. Barely featured. And then, it was just, it was nice because he got used to the league, got used to, the level. And if he would have been healthy going into preseason, I think he would have had a better opportunity. But unfortunately, the injury put him back a little bit. So we'll see. We'll see. At Rainbow Flick, he did that one game I forgot against who. This is when I got off the Buchanan bandwagon. Buchanan can certainly walk into the squad. He's a baller. He's a baller, man. I love Tajon Buchanan. I loved watching him have a breakout performance at the 2021 Gold Cup. The goal he scored against Mexico. I'm a big fan of Buchanan. I just don't think his recent performances have been that good with the national team. And Ali Ahmed has been that good. Every time he's played for Canada, he excites me. Watching him at the Gold Cup with our B squad, watching him then take the step up at Copa America. We didn't get to see him a lot, but when we did, I thought he was excellent. And the last match as well, I thought he was the best performer of the first half in the U.S. game. And even today, the Mexican players are definitely bugging him a little bit, but he's still finding space. He's still trying to be direct, be tricky. He's a baller. And we've interviewed Alex and I've interviewed him, I think, a couple times, or at least once or twice. I'm trying to remember how many times I interviewed him. I think twice. And he talked about how much he likes, like, you know, playing futsal, playing street ball. Like, he's good. He's very technically gifted. He's very good with the ball at his feet. With moves like that, Ahmed can go far. Right on cue. I'd like to see him get a move to Europe. I think everyone always asks, like, if it's Schaffelberg or Ahmed next man up to leave Major League Soccer and go to Europe. I'm leaning more towards Ali, just because, I mean, Schaffelberg's a big family guy. His wife's obviously close to having a child. He's a fan favorite in Nashville. And friend of the channel of mine, Manuel Veth, put out a pretty like strong tweet, but it made sense. Just kind of saying, like, yeah, Schaffelberg's been incredible, which he has mostly when he plays for Canada, but he hasn't really been able to keep that consistency with Nashville. He needs to be a little bit more impactful, I think, to maybe get a club in Europe to look at him. But the nice thing about international football is at big tournaments like Copa America, I think the opportunity might have been there for him to really push for a move if he wanted it, because he just does it on such a big platform. But I don't know, I could see him having to take a step up for his club to maybe get a move down the line. As for Ahmed, I think he's doing it right now with the Whitecaps. I think that he's just got that. He's that technically gifted type of player where I think there's already clubs kind of monitoring him to see, when he's ready. He can play in several different positions as well. And he's been balling out for Canada recently. So I just think it's a matter of time. Let's not forget Buchanan has a goal with Inter. He does. I mean, I'm not saying Buchanan can't walk in this team, and he is that good. He's playing at Inter Milan for a reason. I'm just saying that Ali Ahmed has also been that good, and maybe it's going to make Jesse Marsh think, can he do what I've been asking of Ahmed? Am I going to have to move him to the left-hand side now because I really like Ahmed down the right? Ahmed could absolutely. He is much more versatile. I prefer Tejan in the attacking sense. Also, game time is a concern for both guys, I think. It's definitely more of a concern for Buchanan. I don't know what he's going to look like when he gets to Inter, because it was so difficult for him trying to get any minutes, and Inter ran away with the title last year. Inzaghi was very particular about when he wanted to give Buchanan minutes. And I remember how many Inter games I watched last year, just hoping that he'd come off the bench. I'm like, okay, like they're against like one of the worst teams in the league. They've already basically wrapped up the title, and you still barely see him, or you only see him for the last 5 or so minutes. He was not handing out minutes very easily. And now with Buchanan missing, preseason and everything's back underway. Coming off that injury, I want to see what kind of shape he's in when he gets back. But he's a good player though. Like, he can fit that system. It just kind of seems like he's starting from behind the 8 ball. Let's not forget that Tejan was benched at Copa. He just didn't look great before his injury. Yeah, I agree. Well, that's why I said, like, I think that's a good point. Like, I don't think he's been playing great for Canada for basically all of 2023. And at the Copa America, he didn't look overly good. And then he went out with the injury, which sucked. But where's Schaffelberg? He went to be with his wife, who's expecting to have a child. So we gave a big congratulations to Jacob Schaffelberg, and we wish him the best. Hopefully his baby comes out with hair as lovely as his. But yeah, cool moment for Schaffelberg, for sure. If you guys are just joining us in the chat, drop a like, say hello. Let me know where you guys are tuning in from. Let me know your thoughts on the game so far. Very different watch 33 minutes into this game versus the United States game. Not that Canada's been playing bad. I think they've been the better team. It's just Mexico is a little bit more up for it than the United States are. It's been chippy. It's been stop and start. Canada just played so well in the last game that every single time the United States pretty much had the ball, they were under pressure. We were creating chances. It was a lot more entertaining. It just seemed like one team that just wanted it and one team that did not. This one's just a little bit uglier, a little bit more CONCACAF style to it. I think having Jonathan David not in the starting 11 is noticeable. I think Azorio, Laren, maybe not it in terms of what Jesse wants to do. Ahmed's impressed me. It's a poor ball from Maligan. I don't know. Let me know what's your guys' biggest takeaway so far. If Shaft were to become a player that mostly turns up for nations as opposed to club, like James Rodriguez, would that be a bad thing? Not a bad thing for us as a Canadian fan. Oh, nicely done. But I don't know. I want to see all Canadian players thrive at club level as well. It's always great watching them compete for and play well for country because it's exciting. But I think Shaft can step his game up definitely at club level. I think he can get a move to Europe if he wanted to. But if he doesn't want it, there's nothing wrong with being a good MLS level player. As long as he keeps showing up for Canada and playing the way he is, I don't have that many complaints. Because a player which is crazy, because a player like Jacob Schaffelberg, who's playing at Nashville, had a 10 times better tournament than a player like Tajon Buchanan, at least in the games that Buchanan was there before the injury. Schaffelberg basically put Buchanan on the bench, and you have one playing at Inter Milan and one playing at Nashville. It's form. Fouls are 13 for Mexico, 2 for Canada. That is wild. I think Tajon will end up on loan somewhere. I don't know. I don't know what I would. I hope he gets a full year at Inter before entertaining a loan move. That's a good ball. Zorio's got Miller with him. Because poor ball. It's tough because he only had half the season on a team that was flying high at top of the table and he wasn't giving a lot of looks. This was supposed to be his opportunity this year. And then the injury just, put him a little bit behind. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see how he does when he comes back from injury. If he can push at any type of minutes. I don't think he'll go on loan this year. Maybe if he gets healthy and just can't get game time, maybe next season. We can see him go on loan for the year. But who knows? Maybe he comes back, he is given a couple of chances and can lock down a starting spot. Let me know what you guys' biggest takeaway was. This has been a very, I don't know, entertaining, but not really like a pretty watch. Biggest takeaway, the Mexican played dirty. Team lacks a lot without David. Miller should be a sub. Chouanier is very confident. Depth is improving. I like that. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Jonathan David for sure is being missed right now. Laren and Azorio, I think, has been very quiet. I think Richie's look good. Ahmed's look good. Chouanier's look good. But Canada just haven't been able to really, win the ball back in important areas like they did in the U.S. match. As I say that, Leah Miller gets a little bit of an interception there, which is nice. They're just not pressing the same way that they did in the other match. Playing a very different style, different intensity. But they're still having a decent amount of the ball. Berea, Azorio, Ahmed. Look at that underlapping run. What a run from Richie. What? No. That was an excellent run. Little pattern of play there. Why didn't you play that? Oh. Can we get some shots on goal? Canada dominates 50-50 challenges so far. That's annoying. That sucks. That was a good chance. That was a really good run. I think honestly probably the best duo on the pitch so far would be Richie and Ahmed. Kind of looks like if we're gonna create something, it's gonna be down that right hand side. What's up with the Jebison guy? I asked Jesse Marsh a question on Jebison. He was a little, I don't know. He kind of gave a smile, but said he's very aware of Jebison. But I think we'll have to wait and see. I can't give you a for sure answer. I think Jebison will one day represent Canada. That's just my opinion. I have no insider knowledge. I just don't think he will get a chance with England. I think he would be interested. And just me reading into Jesse Marsh's comments when I asked him about Jebison just kind of tells me that, conversations are going to take place. We'll have to wait and see. I'd love to get an interview with him. I've tried. I have a bit of a link to him. I just don't know if I can pull it off, but I'm trying to get an interview with him. Alex and I did interview Santiago Lopez, so I would definitely recommend you guys checking that interview out once it drops. I loved it. It was a great conversation. He kept making sure that that he wasn't being questioned, that he is Canadian. He's a Canadian boy. That's what he kind of kept hinting at us, but I won't give away too much. But if you guys like what you saw from Santiago Lopez at the U20 level, you guys are going to really enjoy hearing from him a little bit more in that interview. I don't know when Armin's going to drop it. It'll be on One Soccer. It'll be at some point, probably next week. But I'll be on my honeymoon, so I'll be gone for a couple weeks. Late to the party. What was the starting 11? Starting 11 was a 4-2-3-1. St. Clair's the keeper. Larea, Bombito, Cornelius, Davies, the back four. Chouanier, Eustachio, the two CDMs. Osorio is your 10. Ahmed's out on the right. Miller is out on the left. And Laren's the striker. So no Jonathan David. In the starting 11, Waterman left with an injury. And Jacob Schaffelberg went to be with his wife, who is expecting to have her or have their baby. Next game is Canada versus Panama in October. They only have one game in the October window right now. They better, and I think they will find another friendly. I haven't heard anything on it, but I would expect that they will. I don't know who. It's hard. I mean, it's with all like World Cup qualifying for the South American teams, with Nations League for the European teams. Like, there's not a ton of options, which is why like this window we have the United States and Mexico. The United States brought in New Zealand, like the Asian World Cup qualifiers as well. Like, because we're the host nation, there's not a ton of options. Which, nice ball from Liam Miller. Oh, good little opportunity there. Nicely done. There we go. Nice little counter press. Wins the ball back. Oh, Kyle! No! I said that you were going to score. Oh. That was so good. It was so good. If that ended up in the back of the net, that would have been literally just a little perfect play from the way that we had the ball. We won it right back. A couple good passes. Oh. I had Kyle Laren on my score prediction. I literally said it's going to be him. It's going to be Liam Miller. No, I feel like if they don't score before the end of the half here, I feel like they both could be sacrificed as a substitute. Oh, that's a big save from Maligan. Derek. Oh. That was a huge save. Really good ball. Kyle Laren, Malagon. Beautiful save. That is an excellent save, man. That's a good header. You can't ask much more from Kyle Laren there. That he got unfortunate. That's a big time save. Getting married? Say it ain't so. Run now. Run fast. Run far. I am married, man. I got married in the summer. And good lady, because she's letting me go to 2 soccer games on our honeymoon. Going to see Benfica and Barcelona. So I found a good lady. Nice touch from Ali Ahmed. Yeah, I think Ahmed's been our best player so far. What's the best defender, keeper, striker, and midfielder for Canada? In my opinion, I think our best keeper is Maxime Crépeau. I think our best defender, I would go to Alphonso Davies because he's playing as a defender for us. Our best midfielder, so that one's, it's Eustachio or Kone. I think I'm still going to go with Eustachio, but I think the ceiling on Kone is a lot higher. Obviously, he's younger, and he just keeps getting better and better. And our best striker is Jonathan David. This is a great game so far. Somebody know, is she into footy too? She's into me, I guess. No, she likes the sport. She played the sport. I work in the space, so she's around it a lot. So I didn't know if she was gonna let me go to a couple games, but it's cool. It's a cool experience. That halftime already. Whew. All right, everyone. Let me know what your guys' 5 takeaways or takeaways were. That was an interesting half. All right, I'm going to go over it right now. Let me know your guys' thoughts. My Canadian national team 5 takeaways. I think the biggest one. I'm going to say my first takeaway is we're missing Jonathan David up top. Both on and off the ball. That's definitely number 1. You say Ahmed's been our best player. Good chemistry with Larea. Kyle Laren's allergic to scoring goals. That's it's tough, man. Takeaways from that game, man. I don't know. I don't know, man. I feel like it's harsh to say like should be winning, but like that was a huge save. All right. What are you guys saying? Give me your guys' takeaways. Chouanier, Azorio, Eustachio don't create much. We are way too fast for Mexico, and they know it. Ahmed has been the player of the half so far. Absolutely, he has. Like I say, my takeaways is we're missing Jonathan David up top, both on and off the ball. Ahmed has been our best player. I think Larea has been solid. Say Larea put in a shift. Mexico is up for this match. Laren. All right. Well, I don't know. Those are tough takeaways. I don't know. Let me see what you guys are saying. I'll go over to the chat. Took me, that's the longest I've ever, I usually type out the takeaways, but that took me a while to come up with them. I don't know. It wasn't a lot to love, but it wasn't also a lot to hate. I don't know. I was struggling. But let's see what you guys are saying. Get you guys' takeaways in, or anything you guys want to ask over this break here. In 10 matches, isn't that now 8 first half clean sheets? You love the way we start. That is fair. Who is the player of the season for Canada? I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. Player of the season for Canada. Probably go Jonathan David. Ahmed's definitely been our best player. I agree. Bring Nico Seeger on. Yeah, let's take a look at some of our substitutes. I think I'd like to see David come on. Just, I don't know. Why not? Nico Seeger would be nice, but I don't think we're going to see him until a little bit later. And then I kind of want to see Jason Russell Rowe. I feel like it'd be nice to get a look at him. Keep pressing. Ref looks to be calling just about everything. They have 2 yellow cards. I think they're at 3 now, are they not? Was that right? Nope, they're 2. I'm not right. They're at 2 yellow cards. The right flank is doing great. Yes, and that's what I said that earlier. I was just trying to think on the spot to come up with takeaways. That should have been what I did kind of say it. Yeah, whatever. It's fine. I said we were missing Jonathan David both. We were missing Jonathan David up top, both on and off the ball, was my first takeaway. Just because this team doesn't press the same. Doesn't look the same. It just shows how important David is going to be under Jesse Marsh. I agree with all you guys. Ahmed's been our best player. I thought Larea put in a shift. I think Mexico's up for this match. Definitely more than the United States were. The United States were just sluggish. They're chippy and trying to frustrate Canada. And I think that we can see that with the 13 fouls that Mexico has put in. They are chippy and trying to frustrate Canada. And Laren, I mean, at the very end, Laren should have scored, but at the same time, it was a great save. What do you guys think? Should Kyle Laren have scored that, or are you going to give him a little bit of slack, considering that was, I mean, he put it in the corner. I don't know much more he could have done. That was a big time save. I don't know. I don't know if that's being harsh on Laren. Yeah, I don't know. But I think we need to bring Jonathan David on for sure. That's kind of like the main thing I think that's making this team look a little off. Mexico are really bad. They're scared. Canada started well until Mexico got physical. Yeah, they're trying to frustrate Canada. That's for sure. I think Canada's handling it well. I mean, they created a big opportunity towards the end of the half. It's hard for me to even look at Kyle Laren and be like, man, you should have, the opportunity he had in the United States game. It came right at him, and he took a touch and then put it dead center on the ground at Schulte. This time he got up, he got a good connection on it. He put it in the corner. It was a fantastic save. So I don't feel like I want to look at Kyle Laren and be like, oh man, you should have scored that. I just think that's I don't know. Maybe I'm seeing it wrong. Let me know. Should Kyle Laren have scored that? Mexico has 13 fouls. Every time Ahmed plays that 1-2 with Chouanier, he gets fouled. Keep playing it. It's working. It's drawing fouls. It's getting yellows. But yeah, that right-hand side looks dangerous. Mexico's midfield is trash. Totally agree with the David take. Laren nearly ended his drought. I wanted him to score so badly, and I don't know. I feel like it would have been deserved. I thought he's had his chances over the past few matches. It's about time he put one in. I thought he took it really well. Rodriguez gets subbed in. Canada wins 3-0. Not a fan of Charlie Rodriguez, are you? Are they chippy, or are we baiting them? I mean, it's a good point. Down the right-hand side, Ahmed, Larea, Chouanier, they're creating problems. That's why I keep doing it. You're finding success down it. You're drawing fouls. You're creating yellow cards. You can call it chippiness. You can just call it stopping Ahmed breaking free. We're definitely baiting it out of them. We've been really quiet down the left though. Davies has not really been involved too much. Miller's been a little quiet as well. If I was doing subs personally, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but if it was up to me, I'd probably bring on David for Osorio, and then probably just leave it at that. I would like to see Seager on. I just don't think he's ready. And even if he is ready, I don't know who I'd want to put him on for. Yeah, no. I think I would personally just make one sub and I'd bring on David for Osorio. I think Osorio was very quiet in that game so far. Our B team is clapping them. I don't know if it's our B team. Like, well, I mean, it's not our B team, but we're missing Johnston, we're missing David, Schaff. It's a rotated squad. Mexico's is a B team. Mexico also using their B team. David for Osorio in the 60-65th minute. Tanny or Russell Rowe for Laren in the 65th, 70. I wouldn't mind either one of those. I'd like to see Russell Rowe get a look. I mean, I am excited that Tanny's a part of this team now. But I mean, Tanny is the exact same as Kyle Laren in the last 4 or 5 games. He comes off, or like Laren starts, gets chances, doesn't score, comes off. Tanny comes on, gets chances, doesn't score, game's over. So give Russell Rowe a go. He's scored in some big games for the Crew. He's playing on one of the most in-form MLS clubs you're going to find. Osorio has his quality, but does not fit this intense pressing system. I agree. I said it throughout Copa America a ton. Now, Osorio did impress me at Copa America, but it was mainly because I didn't think he fit what Jesse wanted to do at all. And I thought a player like Chouanier was a perfect player that could have suited what Jesse asked for. And when we saw Jesse play with like a 4-4-2 system, you saw Eustaquio and Osorio in there, and it shocked me. I was like, I don't know if it's just maybe he trusted Osorio a little bit more because he's more familiar with the team than Chouanier is. I don't know, but I was surprised. And Osorio did play well. Like he did. It just, I think long term, he's just not going to be a starter for this team. I think, especially with Kone, Eustaquio there, now Chouanier, who I believe is a good fit. You can have David even drop into that 10 role if you play a lone striker. We saw David combine really, really well. He had a phenomenal game against the United States. Osorio just, I don't know, he just hasn't done too much in this game. But yeah, we're missing David, man. And Osorio, that's what I would do. I'd make one sub. I'm David for Osorio. That's it. That's all I would do. Stop crediting the save now, guys. Stop crediting the save now, guys. Serious? I don't know if I don't know the context behind it. Are you saying it's a good save or Laren should have scored? Mexico is missing Edson, Montez, and maybe 1 or 2 more. Yeah, it's definitely not the 2 A's. Like, I mean, if you just go in general for Canada right now, I mean, they're missing. I mean, Kripo is not the keeper. I mean, he's our starter. There's no Johnston. There's no Kone. There's no Buchanan if you count it. There's no Schaffelberg. There's no David. So we kind of have a rotated squad, but a lot of our starters are in this team, and a couple are available off the bench. Do you think Osorio makes the World Cup squad? Aging out or staying in for leadership experience? He'll be 33, 34. I think Osorio will be there in 2026. Just because we don't have a lot of options at the 10. I know it doesn't really fit how Jesse wants to play, but still, like, he is a creative player. He could be a useful player coming off the bench. He can find a pass. Like, I don't know who else. Like, I mean, if Deserby molds Kone into a 10, that would be ideal for this team. We know David can kind of slot in there, but they're not natural 10s. I think Azori is the closest one we have. Plus, he's close with a lot of the guys in the dressing room. He is a leader. Like, I would expect him to be there. I'd be shocked if he wasn't. Ahmed was really good, 100%. Josh, what do you know about China there? Do I know much about the Chinese team? Not a lot. Just when they tried to bring all those Brazilians over and make them Chinese players, that didn't. Or actually, a few of them worked. But yeah, I don't know much about that team. It was a phenomenal save. Who can doubt that? Yeah, it was. It was a phenomenal save. I feel like I can't look at Kyler and be like, you should have scored that 100%. That was a big boy save. Yes, we have enough credit in there. Azorio should play for the Chinese team. China is brutal. Laren should finish those chances. Some of you guys are saying. Great header, better save. China lost 7-0 against Japan, but didn't China win their next match or drew their next match? I can't remember who they played. There's no hope for them. Did they not? What did China? Let me check. What did China do today, or yesterday, or whenever they played? China lost. Okay, I'm an idiot. Well, they were winning. Okay, they were winning, and Saudi Arabia had a red card, but they still won. Okay, yeah. No hope for China, I guess, is what we are saying here. I think the second half's getting ready to go again. I don't know if they're going to do a substitution. I 100% would. Yeah, Ahmed was fantastic. And he also put in the ball for Kyle Laren. Like, he's been our best player, hands down. Hands down, he has. All right, second half's getting back underway. Stop trolling China. Or stop trolling Josh with the China angle. All right. Do you think Ahmed beats out Buchanan? I would start him. Like, tomorrow, if there was a knockout tie with the form that Ahmed's in, I'd start him over Buchanan. I personally would. All right, we're getting back underway. If you guys are still with us, drop a like on the stream. Let me know if you think that Canada, if they're going to win, if they're going to find the winner, if Mexico's going to win. Say hi, I guess. We're back underway. Here we go. I don't think there's any substitutions. And if I'm wrong, someone let me know. I'm not listening to the audio, so I can't tell. Do you have any idea who the vocal leaders are on the pitch? I can see Eustachio directing via his arms at times. On the pitch right now, Eustachio is definitely one. I would say Azorio is probably pretty vocal. And Richie for sure. The keeper always should be. So I would throw Dane in there. And then out of the two center backs, if I had to put one, I'd for sure say Cornelius was definitely probably a little bit more vocal than Bombito. But I don't know. I haven't been pitch side in a while. So I don't know. But like, I mean, Rich, I would say if I had to pick one player, I mean, Richie's for sure going to be the loudest player on that pitch for Canada. But we're back underway. Let's see this. Do you see Canada winning the Gold Cup? I can see Canada winning a Gold Cup. The Gold Cup is so weird with CONCACAF because we don't take it seriously. Now the 2025 edition is supposed to have guests, which is great because they needed to do something to make this tournament more interesting. The fact that the United States sends their B or C team, Canada sends basically like a rotated squad. You'll have some of their A's, some of their B's, but never usually the big guns. No Davies, no David. And then Mexico sends mostly their A, maybe like an A minus squad, you could call it. Which sucks because especially like at the time, if Canada would have sent their A squad when the United States is sending their B, C, it could have given them a really good chance to win it. I think Nations League would be fun too to win because Mexico, Canada, and United States all send their A team because it's just a couple games. It's not that that 7-game or 6-game span. You get a trophy in a couple games when it comes to the semis and the finals. So I feel like unless the 2025 edition ends up being a big success, then you're going to see best on best for a trophy in CONCACAF only in the Nations League. Yeah, that would make... apparently there's going to be some invited powerhouse nations to the Gold Cup, and that would make it so much more interesting. Kind of the same way that Copa America, the CONCACAF nations went, makes it more interesting. But for Gold Cup, considering the favorites would be Canada, Mexico, United States, if we, I don't know, like hypothetically bring in like Japan or I don't know why I keep saying Venezuela or some European team, Spain. I think Spain might have been rumored to come. Like makes it almost impossible to win the Gold Cup. So I would say the most likely thing Canada is going to win would be the Nations League. Because now the Gold Cup, all of a sudden, I mean, if we invite a bunch of guest nations, we could, invite some powerhouses that make it even more difficult to win. Or if it's just a regular Gold Cup, Canada could easily just send a B team. Finally, here comes Canada's press. Yeah, let's see what they can do. It's not the same when you have Larin Osorio pressing instead of David. Quick little throw. Nice turn from Kyle Larin, though. That's definitely a foul. No. That one is. Marsh said that they will be doing something similar to Mexico playing a friendly against Valencia. Do you think they will play a friendly against a CPL team? That would be very interesting. I don't know. Is it next window that Mexico has their friendly match against Valencia? I don't know why this timer isn't going. Oh, nicely done from Richie. Oh. I don't know. It is interesting because there's World Cup qualifying and Mexico is one of the host nations. You got to get creative with your friendlies. Oh, Miller, did you get in the way of that? I don't know who if Canada was gonna get creative and play a club team. I mean, I don't know. I'd rather a Valencia than like a CPL team. But if Canada made like some CPL All-Star game, that would kind of be interesting. It's kind of been teased before, but it'd almost be perfect to create a CPL All-Star team and then play Canada in a window where they need a friendly. Oh, huge opportunity for Derek Cornelius. Damn. Another corner kick coming in for Canada from Chouanier. That was a huge opportunity, though, for Cornelius. Chouanier. Oh, little flick on header. And a foul. Love seeing this kind of pressure right now. Yeah, 5 minutes in. Canada's definitely been the better team. Canada's been the better team throughout the match so far, for sure. Where's the foul here? Is it Larin? Yeah, next window, he said Canada friendly will be closer to the community. I would pitch that. I would be like, listen, they probably can't pull it off in that time, but just it's hypothetical. We have one friendly with the World Cup qualifying. None of the other top nations are available. We just played Mexico and the United States. Put together a CPL All-Star game. I think that would be wild. Or I guess wherever the next games are, if they're in Ontario, you could play York, Forge, Ottawa, or if you're out in BC, you could play Pacific or Vancouver. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. What would you guys rather see? Would you rather see a friendly against like New Zealand, hypothetically, or of like a Valencia or a CPL team next window? Honestly, I think I would take New Zealand. Just a proper friendly against another nation. I'd probably say that over like a Valencia or a CPL club. That's a foul from Kyle Aaron. Ooh. Friendly against Korea. I would take a friendly against South Korea for sure. China was in the 02 World Cup, Josh, in case you didn't know and were involved in the game of the century there. Oh, a little nutmeg. I watched ESPN FC YouTube recap last Canada game, and they sound salty over there. I don't know if I saw the recap. I saw a couple of clips. They definitely. It's not that they were salty that they lost. It's almost like they were just ripping. They were just ripping the United States apart because they played so poorly. I don't think they gave Canada enough credit that we were just by far the better team. Played really well, but I mean, ESPN FC doesn't care that much about Canada. They care about the United States, so it makes sense that it was mainly focused on the United States. But they were definitely ripping on him, and they gave credit. Like, all right, oh, it's a good ball. Jimenez, big save from St. Clair. There we go. Attaboy Dane. That was a big chance for Mexico. Best chance of the game by far. I don't know if it would have been offside. It was a great stop, though. Obviously, friendlies, as we saw with the United States, with Luca De La Torre scoring. There's no VAR to save us there, but that was a good save. It's gonna give a little confidence to Dane St. Clair coming off of his line. Didn't show a replay there, but kind of looked like maybe he was trying to nutmeg him. Oh, what's a wide open header? Get that out. Oof. Mexico screaming for a handball. Nothing given, no VAR. So maybe we got saved there. And we're already playing. Canada out of the back. Davies with a nice little run. Poor ball, though. I don't know. Do you guys see the better angle of that? I didn't see anything there. I think Mexico was screaming for a handball for a penalty. I couldn't tell. And Canada played it so quickly. I didn't do a replay at all. But game's getting a little bit more wide open here. Davies as well to backtrack. That should have been a yellow on Cornelius. Very lucky to get away with that. I want to see a replay on that. Oh, here we go. Oh, what was that? It was off of their guy, was it not? Yeah. Yeah, screaming at nothing. Good non-call. That's somebody. It is Chippy, though, man. Someone who just got thrown to the deck now. Is it Laren who went down? Aguirre gets a yellow card. He's screaming about the handball. Went off your player, my guy. There's no VAR. Oh, yeah. That's a big old kick on Kyle Aaron. And then gets the ball booted at him. Whew. Yeah, if I was Jesse, I would look to go to the bench. Aguirre is still yelling at the ref. Any Mexican supporters in the chat? What do you guys think of Aguirre? Do you like the signing? The old oh yeah, look at them. This game is getting so chippy. And there's Chouanier gets in with a nice, gets a yellow, first yellow card of the game for Canada, goes to Chouanier. Whew. Pineda with a nice little run. It's basically like you're going, one of the teams going one way and then it just gets chopped down and then it's right back the other way and the same thing happens. Usually with Mexico doing it. But it looks like Chouanier is getting a little frustrated there. Perfect opportunity to bring on Seager into to a bloodbath like this. I expect Jesse maybe to go to the bench in like a little under 10 minutes. I think David will come on. I don't know who else. Maybe Tanny, maybe Russell Rowe. I think Laren and Osorio could be two big options to come off. Maybe Liam Miller as well, so Afrifa could be an option. I don't think Seager yet. Nicely done from Steph. Nice ball. Let's see what Liam Miller can do before he gets probably chopped down. Oh, Liam. Did Canada make any signings? Do you mean substitutes? No, we haven't. Still the same starting 11. Nicely done from Richie. And draws the foul. Well done. Well played. Oh man, Richie's getting right into it. And there's David. Yeah. Richie's just not having it right now. Oh man. Mexico is scared of Canada's pace. Well, Mexico's more up for this game than the United States was. They're at least making it interesting. They're being Man, if I was a top European club with a Canadian player, I would never want to send them to CONCACAF friendlies. Yeah, that is a worry, man. Especially the way that they're getting chopped down. But we did see some instructions being given to Jonathan David, so I'm expecting him to come in soon. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think Mexico has been more up for this match than the United States? I mean, they're playing ugly. It's not like I'm not saying Mexico's playing well, but they're more up for it than I just thought when we played the United States on Saturday, the United States just looked toothless. They didn't look like they really wanted to be there. They were just really poor. Now, Mexico's not playing great, but they're frustrating Canada. They're using a couple of their players, trying to play somewhat direct. Oh, that's a foul. He's already on a yellow. Is that another yellow? Come on. Mexico will always show more passion no matter what. Definitely makes the game more interesting. United States lack that, I think. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, and I do not mean that I think Mexico is playing overly well. I just think that they're more up for it than the United States were. 100% Josh. Sorry, I'm not watching the game. Is the stadium filled? I can't really tell. Did anyone get a glimpse at the stadium at all? Does anyone know how filled it is? Kind of looks like definitely more people are there than the game in Kansas. but I don't know. I haven't got a good enough look. And our first substitution is coming in, and it's Chouanier, who's coming out on a yellow card for Jonathan David. All right, so let's... So I'm assuming now it's going to be played in a 4-4-2 system, changing from the 4-2-3-1. So St. Clair's the keeper, Larea, Bombito, Cornelius, Davies, your back four. Your four midfielders now, Ahmed, Osorio, Eustachio, Miller, and then David and Laren are up front. Jonathan David looking for goal number 30 to be by himself on Canada's all-time leading goal scorer, but Kyle Laren is looking for the same thing. 15,000 people is what I'm being told in the stadium, so not a lot. I think, what was it, just over 10,000 at the US-Canada game, which is not a lot of people. That's a good substitution. 60th minute-ish, bring on Jonathan David. I don't know who would be next. I'd imagine one of the other strikers will come on for Laren. That's the only other obvious substitution I'm thinking of. But this game is missing Jonathan David, so I'm excited to see what he can do. Here comes Richie, who I think has had a pretty good game. And David, look at David's already a little deeper. Maybe it is a 4. Well, no, I don't think it'd be a 4-2-3-1 because, I mean, Azori's not going to play in the double pivot. It'll be 4-4-2, but David being a little bit deeper. Speaking of David, already off to a good start. Coming on lively. Do I follow Canadian basketball? I do not. Not a big basketball guy. I only really watch two sports. It's hockey and soccer. But I really only watch a lot of soccer because it's my job and it's my favorite sport. And I watch hockey because I really like that sport too. But I only really watch the Senators. That's my team. Good little look there for Liam Miller, but just not the right ball. Any of you guys in the chat been to a Benfica game? We're going to see Benfica and Barcelona next week. I've been to Barcelona before, but they're not playing at Camp Nou, so it'll be some other stadium. Oh, is it a yellow card? Is that Richie? Richie get a yellow? Playing on the edge now. Would have had more in attendance these two friendlies were if they were in Canada, for sure. Richie picks up a yellow. Brazil's down 1-0 against Paraguay still. Oh, man. David comes in and automatically the movement in offense is different. Barcelona versus Benfica. No, not. They're not playing, but they could play each other, or they are playing each other, right? No. I'm seeing Benfica against Santa Clara, and then I'm seeing Barcelona against Getafe. But the Benfica stadium looks sweet. It doesn't look like there's a bad seat in the house, and they were pretty cheap tickets. So I'm kind of excited, and I'm watching a Benfica documentary right now because why not? It's on Prime. If any of you guys are into soccer documentaries, it's not that good. I've seen a lot better. This is such a stop and start game, though. There's a foul every 5 seconds. Bombito's down right now. Looks like he took one to the face. Is that another substitution? Is that Canada or is that... No, Mexico making a triple substitution. Henry Martin coming on. Henry Martin. I'm assuming Jimenez is coming off. He is. Jimenez was very quiet this game. Charlie Rodriguez is coming on. Pineda is coming off. Mexico's got no chance of scoring now that Henry Martin comes on. And I got Charlie Rodriguez as well, so they're fine. Will you vlog the Benfica match? No. I'm going on my honeymoon, and I was lucky that my wife let me go to any games. So I'm definitely not gonna vlog it. I'm just gonna disconnect and quietly watch the game. Yeah. Otherwise, yeah, if I went there, I might have did something, but no. I'm just gonna disconnect, enjoy my honeymoon. Huerta's got to be careful, man. He's already on a yellow, and he's put in like 3-4 bad challenges in. Get Charlie out of here. I'm tired of seeing him. I was gonna say, I feel like Henry Martin and Charlie Rodriguez are two of the players that Mexican fans do not want to see come on, especially when you have younger talent on the bench. I feel like Marcelo Flores could be an interesting one coming on. Was a dual national with Canada, Mexico. Obviously, chose Mexico, cannot speak Spanish. But I think it was his dad that really wanted him to play for Mexico. I remember seeing back when he was one of the options for Canada. I'm pretty sure his dad was pretty passionate about him playing for Mexico. I think he was also eligible for England as well, I want to say. Yeah, I want to see Marcelo Flores come on. Why not? I like those storylines. He was eligible for Canada. I'd bring him on. Diego Lainez as well. Another player, young player for Mexican men's national team that could be a good player for their future. You married there, Josh? I am. I got married this summer. I don't really understand why sub on same players that couldn't even have a connecting play against New Zealand. Why is Ochoa playing on the field? No Schaffelberg tonight? No, he left the camp because his wife is going to have a baby soon. So we give a congratulations. The way that this game is going to go, I would not be surprised if it just ends 0-0. Very stop-start, kind of frustrating for the Canadians. But if someone's going to score, I would still put it over on Canada. I think they got more of an opportunity to create something here. Congratulations on the marriage. Thank you. A few months into marriage now, and figured we'd do our honeymoon not in the summertime because Canada only has a certain amount of hot months, so I didn't want to waste them. It's still kind of nice in September. It's actually going to be 30 degrees this week, so it's maybe not the best time. Oh, that was a good ball. Oh, that was clever. Just if Disaki could have got a little touch on it, kind of looked like he might have been in. Serious question. What's so good about Marcelo Flores? I didn't say anything was good about him. I just said that he was eligible to represent Canada, so it makes it interesting for him to come on. Oh, attaboy, Ali. I think he's a talent. I don't know. I think he's got a ways to go to maybe try to get to that ceiling that he had when he was back with Arsenal. Oh, that's a foul. 1-0 Canada. Goal from super sub Tanny time. Congratulations there, Josh. I appreciate it. Was a lot of fun. I think Canada will get this. 70th minute, 0-0. I'd like to see a goal in this game. As I say that, Mexico is coming with numbers. Huerta. I think he's probably been Mexico's best player. At least, oh, that's swinging a miss there from Bombito. They gave it a corner. Ref saying no. Marriage is fun the first 2 years. Enjoy it. Is that a goal cut? Did they give that a corner? No, it looked like Bombito left it. Gave Canada a corner, though. What substitution would you guys like to see for Canada? They've only made one so far. I would bring off Osorio. I'd probably go Russell Rowe for Osorio. I would drop Jonathan David into the 10, allow Russell Rowe to play up front. Maybe it's not the most like out and out number 9, but hey, I don't know. Try something else. Tanny has not come off the bench and scored despite, bringing energy and creating chances. Oh, that another big save from Dane St. Clair? That's a big time save. I want to see a replay. That was a big, big save from St. Clair, man. Damn. Tanning time? Not sure about Russell Rowe. Well, Russell Rowe can score. He can score goals. He's in good goal-scoring form, and he's scored in big games. Not that this is a big game. You get my point. Like, why not give him a chance? It's a friendly. Like, I wouldn't mind if Tanny came on. It's Tanny or Russell Rowe if you're going to bring on a striker. St. Clair's looking really good, man. Look at this save. Oh, yeah. Dane St. Clair's putting in a big shift here. I still think it's going to be hard to convince me that it's not Kripo for 2026. I just feel so comfortable when Kripo starts. I just think he's a quality keeper. I think Dane is too. I just feel like it's going to be Kripo, and it's going to be hard to take his position. But if Dane can put up performances like this, man. Okay, I do forget we have Atakubi as well. It could be an interesting one if you bring off like Liam Miller and you throw Davies up maybe to get a little look higher up the pitch and then throw Atakubi at left back. I don't hate that idea. Afrifa's another one who could come on maybe for Ahmed. Ahmed did play the entire game against the United States. And look at sweeper keeper Dane St. Clair. Larry needs to see the bench. Dane's having a great game. Yeah. Stacky's. Oh, that's a foul. Come on. Yeah, for sure it's a foul. Isaki's made some pretty good runs. Got himself in some dangerous positions. That has to be a foul. Keepers for 2026. Crépeau, St. Clair, Sirois. I agree. Yeah, that was a good run from Eustachio. He's had a few of them. There was that earlier, like 5 minutes ago. He made a clever little run. He was not marked at all, and Davies tried to find him just inside the box, coming off a set piece. But he had to outstretch. He just missed it. But he's been making some clever runs today. And that was another one. It was a good foul to win. Dangerous opportunity here. Let's see if Canada. Damn. I want to see Nico. Got a debut coming for Nico Seeger. Oh, we got the triple substitution of Afrifa, Seeger, and Tanny. I'm going to say Seeger comes on for Eustachio. No, for Osorio. What am I saying? I think Seeger comes on for Liam. I think Afrifa's coming on for Liam, Tanny for Laren, Seeger for Osorio. I like that. I like that a lot. I'm excited to see Seager, man. Playing alongside Eustachio. I'm assuming it's going to be Eustachio coming off, although, like, Seager, you know, he can play in the 6, so he could be a... All right, I'm assuming it's Osorio coming off, not Eustachio, but he could just be a straight swap. It's 20, so it's Ahmed's coming off. Okay. Steven Afrifa coming on. All right, I was looking down. Who came off there? Confused that. So it looks like. So Laren, Miller, and Ahmed came off. So Richie's pushed up. What am I looking at here? Seager playing right back? I think he is. All right. He can't. Like, Seager can play right back. I was just picturing him more as a defensive midfielder because that's what I desperately wanted to play. But speaking of which, our right back, Nico Seager, bombing up the pitch. A little chop already in his first touch. Makes a successful pass and gets thrown to the ground. There's CONCACAF for you. All right. So anyone who's wondering, I believe this is how Canada's playing right now. 4-4-2. St. Clair's the keeper. Right back is Seager. Bombito Cornelius, the two center backs. Davies left back. Right mid, Larea. Osorio, Eustachio, the two center midfielders. Afrifa's out on the left. And David and Tanny are the two strikers. So Seager doesn't play in the midfield, which I was a little surprised about, but he can play right back too. Oh, that's a nice collision. Seager looks fast. That was a nice little touch. First touch of the game. He does a little chop, makes a pass, and then gets knocked to the ground. I like it. It just feels very CONCACAF for your first touch. It was fun to see Colombia beat Argentina today. Do you think the addition of Jebison would bolster our attack? I would love Jebison to commit to Canada because I think it'd be a great story. I think that it's a foul. No, he could play a part for this team, but I don't think that he moves the needle because I just don't think he's going to be a starter or even I think even if he was technically eligible for Canada right now, I don't know if he'd actually make the team. He's been injured for a while. This is he missed basically the entirety of the last season. He is getting back to full fitness. He got a move to the Prem with Bournemouth. He's now on loan at Watford, but he hasn't scored at a consistent rate since he's playing in League One. So I'd like to see him just get a little bit of I'd like to see him try to push for a starting spot at Watford if he can do that, because I'm not convinced he can really even score at the championship level the way that even an Ugbo could do. I think he's got a lot to prove, but I think he's a talent. So I don't know if I answered your question or not. I think he will commit. I want him to commit. I just don't think that right now, even if he was eligible for Canada and he decided to play for Canada, he would even be on this team. But maybe that's harsh. It's just because he's such a raw talent and he hasn't really proved it quite yet, even at the championship level, let alone in the Premier League. If he starts for Watford and starts scoring a couple goals, then I'm like, yes, get him in, 100%. Otherwise, just let him enjoy his football, try to get back to full fitness, and see what he can do. But let me know in the comment section, guys. If you could pick one dual national that you'd like Jesse Marsch to target next, who would it be? Because the 3 dual nationals that Jesse's brought in so far is Tanny was the first one. He was eligible for the United States and Nigeria. Nico Seeger, obviously, who's eligible for Canada, Croatia, and then Stephen Afrifa, who is eligible for Canada and Ghana. But at the same time, you know what? Yeah, our strikers aren't always in great goal scoring form. Like, except for Jonathan David. So I guess the more strikers can't hurt, as one of you guys are pointing out. Do you think Canada will get a goal before the 90? I kind of feel like it's going to end 0-0. I wouldn't put money on it, but I would like to think that they can. Tamori is not eligible for Canada anymore. Unfortunately. He is done. I would have loved to see him. Oh, here comes Diego Lainez. But I would have loved to see him play for Canada, but it is no go. English center back, he will never get called up again. If you're referring to Tamori, no. Thing is, Josh, I think every one of our striker prospects have been in great goal scoring form, all except Laren. I'm just trying to think off of my head. Just our striker pool. Like David's in decent goal scoring form. Russell Rowe's in decent goal scoring form. Bear hasn't scored yet this year. Laren obviously hasn't scored yet this year. Jebison hasn't scored yet this year. Yeah, I don't know. Ugbo hasn't, I don't think, scored yet this year. Well, actually, no. Well, he did. But he scored in the cup, not the league. Yeah, I don't know. More the merrier, though. And here comes Russell Rowe and Kamal Miller. Derek Cornelius comes off for Kamal Miller, straight swap in the left center back position. And Richie Larea comes off at right mid for Russell Rowe. I don't know if Russell Rowe is going to go right mid. I don't know how they're going to do this. Maybe he will. Maybe. Out of the strikers coming on, I mean, Laren got the entire game. Or not Laren, sorry. Laren came off for Tanny, so Tanny's not going to go out wide. So no, Russell Rowe's playing at right mid. Interesting. That's wild. I'd throw Russell Rowe up front. Why not? Yeah, Kolyosho. There was a report that went out today that I think it said that Kolyosho was going to sign an extension. That nicely done from David. Oh, and then he gives a poor ball away. Oof. I think it said that they were going to that Kolyosho was going to sign an extension at Burnley and that he was expecting to get a call up to Italy. So I think for the Americans and the Canadians and I guess the Nigerians, I believe is his other nationality, I think he's going to play for Italy. That was a terrible ball from Kamal Miller. Yeah, this looks like it's going to be a 0-0 draw. I would be very surprised if we see a goal. Good result or no? It's hard to tell. I don't know. It's not a bad result. I wouldn't say it's a good result. It's an okay, like it's a decent result, I guess. I think the United States result was a great result because we won the game and we played extremely well. We deserved it. We could have won by more. I think we were the better team in this game, but I mean, Mexico had a couple good chances, a couple good saves by Dane St. Clair. Maligan made a couple good saves as well. Maligan actually made I'd say the save of the game on Laren. We're away from home. It's Mexico. I don't know. What do you guys think? Is this a good? Would 0-0 be a good result away from home against Mexico like this in a friendly, but it's in the United States? Like, it's not a bad result, but it's. Ooh. Oh, it's poor Alvarado. Davies makes a little bit of a gamble there and then gets lucky. 0-0 is a crap result. It doesn't feel like a good result. Just watching this game because the other game was just so much more enjoyable. But it's not a bad result. It's not a bad result, 100%. It's a fine result. Decent result, however you want to say it. Compared to the old days, it's a good result. Yeah, this is Canada's C team against Mexico away. We should be a win. Definitely not Canada's C team. Was on the pitch right now. Like, it's not. Like Canada brought most of their best players and half the A team started and foul there on Seager. Doesn't like it. No, this is not Canada's 8. Like, Canada basically has their besides the injured players, has their best team here, and they started pretty close to their A team. But they didn't have David in, which really threw this team off a little bit. Didn't have Johnston, didn't have Schaff. Seager gets a yellow card. Welcome to CONCACAF, my man. Seager is fast and physical. He did well. He did get the foul, though. Yellow card and a free kick coming in for Mexico, 88th minute. B+ or A-? Attaboy. Yeah, I agree. But it's nice to see Seager get in there with a foul like that. I like it. Got a yellow. That was a terrible free kick coming in, though. Linez. That's a good ball. That's a good ball as well. Oh, that's a big block. Davies loves it. That was an excellent block from Alphonso Davies. Say, Mexico's throwing it on here a little bit late. I love that from Davies. Oh, another big opportunity for Mexico. My highlight of the match, honestly, was seeing how fired up Alphonso Davies is after making that block. I like it. GG refs. Love seeing Davies. How is this? It's not a Canadian. It's not a Canada. This is basically Canada's best team. 2 added minutes. I'm assuming this thing's gonna end 0-0. But here comes Davies. Gets a throw. 2 minutes. 0-0. Kind of an ugly game. That's fine. Let me know your guys' biggest takeaway of the second half, I guess. Did you learn anything? Here comes a Frifa. I don't know. What do you guys think? What was your biggest takeaway from the second half here? I'm having trouble thinking of anything. We looked better once David came on. I like Richie's game. I like what I've seen so far from Seager. It's good to see him come on the pitch. His first touch, he had a little chop, made a pass, and got knocked to the ground. Got a foul and a yellow card already, you know, true CONCACAF style. Dane St. Clair. Oh, that's a mistake here. Here comes a Freefa. Nice turn. Nice ball. Russell Rowe. Oh. Oof. That was a good opportunity there. But yeah, I think Dane St. Clair had probably the best half for the Canadians. Two minutes are basically up. It looks like a late free kick coming for it's a very choppy game. Wait. Probably the last kick of the game. I'll take a draw right now, though. Get it out. Get it out. Get it out. Boy, Bombito. David, well done. Is that it? That's the game. All right. 0-0. That. Oof. I don't know. Let me know what you guys' thoughts are on the game. If you're still with us, drop a like on the stream. Let me know your guys' final thoughts. I mean, it wasn't the prettiest game you're ever going to see. I'll try to think of my final takeaways, I guess. There's a few. I still really like Alphonso Davies at left back. I know that's not like a huge takeaway, but I just do. So my Canadian national team full-time takeaways from this match. I say Jonathan David is so important. It's so important to the way that Marsh wants to play. Dane St. Clair. Dane St. Clair's excellent. Big performance from him. Another solid match from Davies at left back. Loved seeing him. That's pretty much it. All right, that's my 5 takeaways. Jonathan David is so important to the way Marsh wants to play. Ahmed And Larea had strong games. Another solid match from Davies at left back. Love seeing him fired up after making. Dane St. Clair was excellent. Big performance from him. Choppy game. It was a choppy game. All right, that's it. Let me know what you guys think. We'll go through a few more. That's a 0-0 draw type of game. Refs remain undefeated. Draw will be okay. Boring game. Disappointed. Didn't like Canada's second half. Yeah. After that amazing performance against the UAs, this was a clunker. Yeah, it was choppy. Nasty match. CONCACAF. Dane St. Clair was stellar. If we had Benny up top, would have been a dub. Yeah, Ben would have been nice. Would have been nice. Chouanier was non-existent in this game. Boring game, but GG Canada should have won. To be fair, I'm a Mexican fan. Ahmed was a beast. He was. I thought Richie had a good game as well. Wonder how Filippo's doing tonight. Gonna say he had a tough go. I'm gonna say he had a tough go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you all enjoyed the watch along. I appreciate you guys all tuning in. We will be doing a morning after stream on One Soccer tomorrow, Alex and myself at 1 p.m. Eastern time. I'll be posting the 5 takeaways video tomorrow morning, and then doing a recap video that will drop some other time as well. A few interviews, lots of content coming up. Hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. It wasn't the most entertaining game, but, you know, it was still a pretty solid window for Canada. Appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll chat to you soon. Cheers, friends.